Hi everyone, it's nice to be here today. Public speaking is not my forte, but I'll try to get through it with the minimum amount of ums here. No promises, but... Alright, so as I was sitting down and getting ready to write this speech, it was really hard to start for me, and as I thought about that, I was wondering why, and I realized that it wasn't because I didn't have enough to say, it was because I had too much to say. How could I fit all the things that I'm grateful Trio had done for me in just a 4-minute speech? I still remember the first time I heard about UBMS. I was sitting in my freshman year physical science class, and which was basically a class nobody took seriously. One, because the teacher didn't take it seriously, and two, because we're freshmen and that was pretty much our job. I guess before I start about how UBMS has played such a huge part in my life, I kind of want to give you a little bit of a backstory on who I was as a freshman student. The start of my freshman year marked the 2-year anniversary of switching from a private, small religious school to a public school. Socially, I didn't do very well building friendships, and I'd always been that serious kid with her head in the books, so being shy didn't really help anything at all. Because of that, the switch from private to public school was a big adjustment for me. I was really overwhelmed with all the new people that there were there, and it made, I guess, getting used to it really hard. I was much happier, but my grades struggled because I was focusing so much on the social aspect of my life back then. So back to freshman year, I guess when Gary, Chris, and Tracy were talking about UBMS, I was kind of interested in what the program had to offer, but I didn't think that it was something that I could be involved in. A lot of my classmates were just quiet and weren't saying anything, so I felt bad and started to ask some questions. And my parents pushed me to join, but I didn't really think, again, that it was something I could be involved in, so I was surprised when they did. UBMS really came at the best time in my life. I think that Gary, Chris, and Tracy would say that most of my development academically and outside of school had to do with me, but I think it was more with UBMS. I'm a senior right now, so things are pretty hectic with applications and letters of recommendation and scholarships and all of that. After high school, I plan on attending University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh for a double major in early childhood and special education with minor in Spanish. So because of UBMS, first of all, I took the campus visit to go to UWO, and ever since I stepped on campus, it really felt like my home, and I love everything about it, the location, how close it is to my home, so I can go home whenever I want to. And I really love how small it is. I think that's one of the biggest things that made me choose UWO. I like the smaller campus and the environment and all of that. Besides academics, one of the biggest things that I have to thank UWO for, or not UWO, UBMS for, excuse me, is my grasp on who I am as a person and the kinds of things that I excel at. A little story, the first UBMS summer session, we were required to do a little check-in with Chris on who we were as people and the kinds of things we were interested in. And back then I thought being in a science program, a math and science program, meant that you had to be exclusively interested in math and science, and I'm not really that partial to the math side of things, but it might be only funny to me, but when the possible career question came into play, I remember blurting out math teacher without thinking. And then later, when Chris asked me if I preferred science over math, I answered science. So he asked me, well, why do you want to become a math teacher if you prefer science over math? Because math was a difficult subject for me. It might be only funny to me, like I said, but it really shows how back then I lied to myself and to other people about the preferences that I had. And I was one of the first UBMS participants in Horace Mann High School, and I had been here since the very beginning, so I watched the program grow, and as the program grew, I grew along with it. From my days of just trying to struggle along with school to the summer program, our first one, where we had such weirdly scheduled classes, to like my first planner, to the first end of summer ceremony, and all the fun field trips and all the friends I've made, and really everything in between. UBMS has really just helped me overcome so many obstacles. I don't think they'll ever know how grateful I am that I just joined the program and that they've taken me under their wing and helped me along so much. It's welcomed everyone from me, who's shy and introverted most of the time and had her head stuck in a book, to people like my brother, who's a gamer and extroverted and has goals but doesn't really know how to get there. Honestly, we're all family and we tease each other, but we all just want each other to become the best people that we can be, and they have helped everyone here, I think, just be in a comfortable environment and feel comfortable pursuing their dreams, which is one of the best parts about UBMS. So I would like to thank UBMS and all the TRIO programs really for just being the superhero in my life, and I'm sure other people's lives, because Gary, Chris, Tracy, and UBMS were the superheroes in mine, honestly. And on that note, I'll hand it over to the current SSS student, Courtney Clark.